Hello, everyone. It's Saturday again. It's funny how the weeks go by so fast. And I'm enjoying adding to my little portal of videos here on Facebook. So I would love to figure out how to put videos on my story reel. That way you could actually watch them in real time. But maybe I'm not technologically advanced yet there. But talking about failure today, so it's not really a failure because I'm still on here. I'm still sharing. Maybe it's just something I need to learn, right? I'm a tech queen and I can learn anything, right? So I'm thinking a lot about my fear of failure lately, or fear of messing something up, fear of not getting what I want, fear of, and there's just certain things during my day that trigger me like really insanely. I would say nap time is a huge trigger for me. Like if I fail at nap time, if I fail to get all four of my young children down at the same time, I'm like, gosh, I'm such a failure. Why can't I figure this out? What's wrong with me? Like all the thoughts, right, just keep coming up and up and up. But it's like, if I continue in that like trajectory of thought thinking, I just lose all of my free will power of, no, I'm not going to choose to say that I'm failing. I'm going to choose to say I'm going to grow in this and I'm going to learn how to, maybe hold myself accountable, hold my children accountable, whatever. But I just feel like we, as a culture, are so focused on failures. And it's so hard to get away from something that you failed at. Let me just think about this for a second. Like, what is the one thing that comes to your mind when you think about something you've done in your past? A lot of times, especially if you are trying something new, I feel like a lot of times it's just like, oh, well, I failed that before. I'm not going to do it again. Or, well, if I fail, when I fail, because I'm a human, right? When I fail, I'm a failure. How does that make you feel? Because for me, it makes me feel pretty crummy. Makes me feel pretty powerless. Pretty, like helpless. Like, oh, I'm just a victim. I'm just gonna fail. Gosh, that's so mucky, guys. And I'm just saying it out loud. It just reminds me how mucky that is. And I'm not saying, like, obviously we're human. Obviously we're gonna fail. There's absolutely no question about that. Like, we are human, we are flawed, the human experience is flawed. Like, we will fail. Like, get used to it. The title of this video is like, so get used to it. And I'm not meaning that in like a really brusque, judgmental way. It's more of like, can we be okay with failure? Can we truly be okay with failure? Because it is part of the human experience. And I think the thing we have to decide for ourselves is, when you fail, because it's inevitable, when you fail, what are you choosing to think? Because just this last week I was saying, okay, when I fail, like, I'm a failure. And what comes out of that? Like, I get mad. I lash out at people. I feel helpless. I feel powerless. And so I want to take control of something that's not mine to take control of. That would be like the action, the A line of my thought of, I'm a failure. Not serving me, not serving my family. Definitely not. So if I can turn that around and say, when I fail, because yes, I'm human, I'm going to do that. When I fail, I choose to grow and learn from it. I choose to harvest wisdom from my failure. And chances are I probably will fail at the same thing again, which is totally okay. And yeah, it's, and if I don't grow from it the first time, like, maybe, eventually I'll learn. Or maybe I can say, well, I know I did this little piece. I didn't like how I did this little piece, and so in the future I'll be able to change that. But yeah, like, it's a mindset of, am I going to see myself as a failure, or am I going to see myself as a person who's learning and growing continually? Because I don't believe that our our lives are meant to just stay in one place. Like we are always meant to be learning, always meant to be growing, our mind expanding. Yeah, it's something to think about, because I think it's hard to sit in that place of failure. It's painful. Like it makes you feel pretty crummy about yourself, because that's all you focus on, right? Our brain has this really cool thing called the reticular activator. They kind of call it the RAS, but what its job is to basically filter out everything that our mind's not focused on. So let's say you're on Facebook, right, and you're looking for certain things. So like maybe you have a newborn baby, and all of your mind like automatically picks out all the baby pictures. Like, oh, look at they have a newborn too. Oh, and they have a newborn too. Or when you drive down the road and you know that you drive, I don't know, a certain car, and like all of a sudden you look around and you see everybody else with the same car. It's not because everyone else is driving the actual same car. It's just because your brain is telling you what to look for, because you've chosen to focus on something. So what we focus on expands. And if I'm focusing on the fact that I'm a failure, I'm going to see all these little bits and pieces that my brain is like pointing out to me. Oh, that's the reason you're a failure. Oh, yep. And this one, and this one, and this one too. And just like make it all just like blow up in my brain. And then that's all I'm focused on is all my failures. So maybe if I look at when I fail, I choose to learn and grow. My brain's going to go like, oh, well, where's all the places you've grown this week? Where's all the places that you learned where you've harvested from your failures? Anyway. Just some thoughts, just some early, mid-morning, Saturday morning thoughts. Yeah. Let me know what your thoughts on failure are in the comments. I would be really interested to see how you view failure, and how you feel like it's played a role in your life. So drop that below in the comments if you watch this video or you're watching live. And yeah, I will be back next Saturday with some more nuggets of things that are filtering around in my wonderful mind that fails often.